again, everybody. Welcome to Country Then and Now. I'm Casey Gibbs, joined in studio this week by my buddy Sammy Sadler. Good to have you, man.
Good to see you, Casey. Thanks for having me on, brother.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You bet. You cleaned up real well to come
Yeah.
see us.
Thank goodness we're sitting right here.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Same. Happy belated birthday.
Man, thank you so much, man.
So you look good for 75.
I'm hanging in there. Turn it around. I feel like I'm 75
I
some
do
days,
too.
don't you?
Yeah.
Man,
I'm only
I'll tell you.
52 and I was, yeah.
Yeah. I just turned 58.
You're not too far ahead of me.
Not too far.
So
Not too far.
Stopped back from Nashville
I did, man. We were up there for, we played the Tennessee State Fair last Friday.
with Leon.
Me and Leon Everett, yes, sir. And, man, we had a good time.
Good crowd.
Yeah, it was a pretty good crowd.
Weather
good.
nicer up there than it is here.
You know, it was a little cooler, but I hear that it's going to be about 102 up there in the next day or two.
Well,
so
they can have it.
yeah,
I'm done. I'm done with it.
And we need some rain down here.
We
man.
do.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm part Indian, so I can get out and do a little rain dance. but
Man, would you please go do that
Yeah,
right now?
I'll get right on it.
Why? What are you holding us up for? We've been wanting it, but
Yeah.
we had a bunch in July. But
Yeah.
in June, July, we didn't get any in August.
No, but
But
I mean,
man,
usually I think, well, I don't want to jinx it by saying we're done with 100-degree days, but hopefully we are. So maybe the patterns are going to change. And
I
we'll get
hope
some
so.
Rain.
I hope so. Maybe it's going to start getting a little cooler.
Yeah,
We need it.
we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got an interesting story to tell for those that don't know.
Yeah.
Back starting in 1989,
Mhm.
career was starting to take off, had some success on the charts, and then little incident took place.
Yeah, I mean, I moved to Nashville right out of high school. I graduated in 1984, and we moved to Nashville, and probably I don't know if it was around October, November of '84. We went up there and ended up moving and staying, and within about 8 months after moving up there, we ended up getting a record deal. And back in those days, they wouldn't put out and just go cut albums on you. They'd cut singles and put out singles and kind of see how they would do, before they do anything. It's kind of an A&R thing, of how they did things back then. And so from 1985 to 1989, I had 6 nationally charted singles, and the old Aaron Neville song, we had ended up cutting that song, and that was going to be my 6th single. And the record label kind of held off on putting it out, and I don't know why. They just held off on it, and they ended up getting it out. And when they put it out, it kind of took off, and that was my fastest rising single at the time. And they put it out, and they started trying to rush me in to start working on the album. And as the record was going up the charts, March 9th, 1989, tragedy struck, and I was shot and left for dead. And Kevin Hughes, my friend at the time, that run Cashbox magazine, the chart manager, he was shot and murdered, and it's known around the world as a murder on Music Row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they ever catch the suspect?
Well, all of that, with all of that being said, in 1989, from March 1989, it took them 13 and a half years to solve it. And, really, to make a long story short, I mean, here I was shot and left for dead. He was shot and murdered, went around the world as a murder on Music Row. And they ended up treating me like a suspect in the middle of this, and
Wow.
trying to implicate that I might have had something to do with it. And here I am fighting for my own life,
Right.
Bleeding to death. I didn't know how bad I was hurt that night. And anyway, they just kind of implicated and insinuated that I might have had something to do with it. And I mean, that's just far as crazy that I've ever heard, man. I mean, it's just nuts. They brought me in to take a lie detector test. I ended up going to Vanderbilt in Nashville. They had me hypnotized. They sat right behind me on the couch as I was being hypnotized. And when it was done and over with, they stood up and said, "Man, was he really hypnotized?" And the professor said, "Well, absolutely he was." And the only thing I told him any different than I told him in the beginning is that the guy had on a heavier jacket. And that's the only difference in my story from day one.
Why were they looking at you as a suspect?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know that even to this day, why I was looked at as a suspect. I can understand that, you've got to ask questions. But man, when I've told you everything I knew, I willingly came in and took a lie detector test. I willingly went in and was hypnotized.
There's nothing more to tell.
There's nothing more to tell. And at some point in time, I feel like you're not a suspect anymore. And it's kind of interesting. You asked me that, and you go through all that, and through all these years of going through all of this. The Tennessean recently did a podcast as well, and the Oxygen Network did a series on this, or did a program on it a couple of months ago. And, they still, when I did the podcast with the Tennessean, the guy that did that ended up still trying to make me look like I might have had something to do with it. 35 years later,
wow,
24 years after it's been solved, and the guy's been convicted and died in prison and all this. I mean, to do that and put somebody through that, I mean, I think it's just crazy. And then the Oxygen Network did a program, and in the Oxygen Network, the detective says that, I wasn't a suspect and all this kind of stuff, but they contradict everything they say. So it's just kind of crazy, man.
Wow. And then hence the song George and Alan did, but that was about killing country music on Music Road, not
the
actual.
It was, a lot of people, they say, oh, I know the song Murder on Music Road, but they did, oh, I don't know about the Murder on Music Road that actually really happened.
Right.
But really, I mean, if you listen to the song and listen to the first verse, they talk about, I mean, I know that's where they got the idea to write Murder on Music Road, because if you listen to the first verse of it, it talks about a man getting away with murder down on Music Road, but then they turn it and twist it. The country music's dying.
The country music's dying. Yeah. The current album you got out now of 1989, I assume that's how the album title came to be.
Well, when we got ready to, we did this one record here for Audium Nashville, and when we started to do that record, we just went back to that era of 1989. I went in and recut Tell It Like It Is that I had out on the charts in 1989, and we recut it for this album. And so we just titled the album 1989, and it was easy for me to pick out the songs that I wanted to do on this album, because all of them, I went back and there was just great, to me, that era and that kind of music, some of the best music that was produced and some of the best music that was out.
Absolutely.
And so I went back to that era and I picked out #1 records and records that were hits in that era. And then I put a bonus track on there, I Know a Place, that I hit a hit record with out here in Texas as a top 15 record for me.
Yeah. We'll play that in a little bit.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and play one off of the album, Bluest Skies in Texas.
Absolutely.
Hit for Restless Heart.
Absolutely.
And I think you have Larry Stewart on this. So.
Yeah, man, it was so exciting. When we started to cut that album, the label said, man, why don't we get a couple of the artists that had the original hit records with it and bring them in and sing with you? So that's what we did. And I want to thank Larry and Marty Rayburn, Shannon Doe, and T. Graham Brown for those guys coming in and making that album.
Very good guys.
Good guys.
Yeah. Bluest Skies in Texas, Sammy Sadler with Larry Stewart on Country Then and Now.
Yeah.
That lonesome Texas sun was setting slow, and in the rearview mirror I watched it go. I can still see the wind in her golden hair. I close my eyes for a moment, I'm still there. The bluest skies in Texas are haunting me tonight. Like the stars that fill the midnight sky, her memory fills my mind. Did I wait too long? Or can I make it right? The bluest skies in Texas are haunting me tonight. Another town, another hotel room, another dream that ended way too soon. Let me feel a lonely prayer before the dawn. I'm searching for the strength to carry on. The bluest skies in Texas are haunting me tonight. Like the stars that fill the midnight sky, her memory fills my mind. Did I wait too long, or can I make it right? The bluest skies in Texas are haunting me tonight. For every heart you break, you'll pay the price. But I can't forget those tears in her blue eyes. The bluest skies in Texas are haunting me tonight. Like the stars that fill the midnight sky, her memory fills my mind. Did I wait too long? How can I make it right? The bluest skies in Texas are haunting me tonight. Ooh, the bluest skies in Texas are haunting me tonight.
Blue Skies in Texas, Country Then and Now. Sammy Sadler in studio with me, and Larry Stewart doing a duet on that off of the 1989 album.
Absolutely.
And
plus, he did all the background harmonies on it, man.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
for
We
one.
got two for one that day. Yeah. It was good though, man. Larry was good and nice, and man, it was what an honor, man, for those guys to come in and sing.
And he's killing it right now with the front men.
Absolutely, yeah. I saw that.
That's one of the best shows I've seen in a long time.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and it's Richie McDonald and Tim Rushlow.
Tim
with
Rushlow.
Him, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, man, they're doing that. I think they got a new record deal with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Sony, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's good,
Broken
man.
Bow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
that's awesome. And I guess they're still out doing all their other stuff with everybody, but three iconic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the album 1989, how did you figure out, how'd you come down to 10 songs that you wanted based on all the options you had to choose from song wise?
You know, I really already had the songs in mind that I wanted to do. So, I mean, it literally didn't take me any time, man, like 10 or 15 minutes.
Were they ones you were already doing on stage?
I've done most of them. Yeah. I've done most of them on stage, and, you know, it's just, I mean, man, they were just great records, you know.
And that came out, what,
2021,
2021?
I believe it's 2021.
And the book came out about the same time?
I think the book come out in 2000, gosh, I don't know, 19, maybe it was right before COVID.
Okay.
And you know, and it was just crazy when the book come out. I think it was in April of 2019, I believe, or May.
And for those of you that want it, that's the album, 1989.
Yeah.
And That's the book, A Hit with a Bullet.
Yes.
That's a good title. A
Hit
hit with a bullet.
Yeah, hit with a bullet.
Literally and figuratively. So
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy, Casey, when the book come out, we did a media kind of tour thing, but it's like we went to LA to do it, but we were in one spot kind of like we are here. And they satellited us out across the country to like 17, 18 morning TV shows. And within one day of that, my website got hit 350,000 times.
Wow.
The day after. And it was just, it's crazy. And now, it's just, we're just going to have to see what unfolds, man. We got a lot of things going on with it.
Yeah. And for those of you that want to go to, is it
SammySadler.com.
Okay.
If they want to get an autographed copy, go there to my website. They can also get my CD there. But if they want to get it on Amazon, they're welcome to get it there.
Okay.
It's also up on digital. So if you don't like to read and you want to get the Audible, it's always there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were talking a little bit a while ago before we went into Bluest Ties about Tell It Like It Is.
Yeah.
So
Tell It Like It Is was the record that we had out in 1989. And I'd watched the docuseries thing kind of on the Neville brothers and Aaron Neville them a few years ago. And it's like that record, Aaron had the hit record with that in 1966. And I was born in 1966. And then he was saying, I never made a dime. He never made a dime off of that record.
I'd heard that somewhere.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess the record company and everybody just took everything from him. But that was his signature hit, and here we are. We had it out in 1989. I was shot, left for dead. Billy Joe Roll ended up cutting Tell It Like It Is, naming his album Tell It Like It Is, and took it to number 2, remaining the biggest record of his career.
Wow.
Just a little history there. Man.
Wow.
But it was kind of funny, back when we had it out still, Billy Joe was on Atlantic.
Right.
They had a duel going on with us at radio, and some of the radio stations wouldn't come off of my record. But Billy Joe being on Atlantic and having the bigger label and the bigger push,
kind of won out.
It just won out. But that's a little history for you there, man.
So you said that was the biggest record of his career. I thought Down in the Boondocks.
Well, you would think that, but that he took that record to number 2, and they said it remains the biggest record of his career. Is what I was told.
I would have lost a bet on that one.
We'll have to look it up. We? Need to look that up. That's what they tell me.
Yeah, that or Cherry Hill Park.
But, I mean, man, Billy Joe had a string of them there for a while, man. Burn Like a Rocket and all that stuff.
Leave a note on your pillow.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and play Tell It Like It Is.
Yeah, here's my version of
all right.
it. Hope they'll like it.
If you want something to play with, go and find yourself a toy. Maybe my time is too expensive, and I'm not a little boy. If you're serious, don't play with my heart, it makes me furious. But if you want me to love you, then baby I will. Girl, you know that I will. Tell it like it is. Don't be ashamed. Let your conscience be your guide. I believe you deep down inside me. I believe that you love me. So forget your foolish pride. Baby, life is too short to have sorrow. You may be here today and gone tomorrow. You might as well get what you want. Go on and live it like it is. Don't be ashamed. Let your conscience be your guide. I believe you deep down inside me. I believe that you love me. So forget your foolish pride. Tell it like it is. Don't be ashamed. Let your conscience be your guide. Tell it like it is. Let your conscience be your guide. Tell it like it is.
Tell It Like It Is, Sammy Sadler on Country Then and Now off of the 1989 album. So we've hit on that for quite a bit. Is there anything new that's forthcoming, maybe?
Well, we've got an album, another album cut that we've been holding on to for a little while, and we've got some record people talking to us. I got to go back to Nashville in September, and we'll see what might pan out. I've got a song on there that's got myself and John Anderson, Ken Mellons, and the late Jeff Carson. We got a song on there. So,
oh wow, was that the last thing Jeff recorded before?
Well, I don't know if it was the last thing he recorded, but when me and Ken and Jeff were out touring together, we'd cut this, and then we got John to come in and sing on it. So we've had it in the can for quite a while, and I'm hoping that we can get it and get see daylight with it and get it out.
Yeah. Good deal.
Jeff and Ken, we toured together for a while, and man, Jeff was just a sweet guy, man. Just a
never got to talk to him.
You didn't?
Saw him in concert years ago at Billy Bob's,
Yeah.
but never got to.
But man, what a sweet guy, man. He was something, man.
And Ken's a good guy too.
Ken's a real good guy, man. He's a country boy, and he's kind of like me. We're just old country boys, and he's working on a documentary on himself and some things with him. So be looking for that, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're working on something too.
We are,
kind
man.
of.
We've got some movie and docuseries people talking to us, and it's been going on for quite a while. And we just had another one contact us. So man, we just, everything happens in the good Lord's time,
Mhm.
Casey. And I'm just thankful to still be here and able to do what I love to do and continue to carry on what I started a long time ago to do.
Yeah. You're out right now doing some dates with Leon Everett.
We just did the Tennessee State Fair this past Friday, me and Leon and Tim Atwood. It was the Grand Ole Opry piano player for 38 years. He was there and had the band. So we had a good time. It's always good to catch up with some of those guys.
Yeah, and Leon's got he just started doing a new weekly show too, I think.
He did. He's got, what is it called?
God and
Country Time.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And he's got that up and launched. I think he might have had already 2 or 3 shows with it, and looks like it's gonna be doing well, man. He's doing well on it, I think.
Yeah. That I wouldn't be surprised to see him take that to RFD at some point.
It
very well could.
It
very well could.
Yeah, sure could.
I hope
Leon, he's full of fire, man. He's
a pistol.
What is he? 76? I think he's 76, man. But I mean, he's got more energy than a 20-year-old.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah,
he's full of fire, man.
He is. Yeah. Are y'all going to try to do any recording together?
We've got a thing that we've got recorded that we put together. It's a smash up song with a John Lennon song and an Elvis song, but we had it done. We've had it in a can, but right now we're having to wait to get permission from John Lennon's people to get it released.
Oh, really?
Elvis's side didn't have a problem, but for some reason there's some kind of holdup with the John Lennon side, so I don't know what's going on with it.
I would have thought it'd been right the opposite, because I know EPE's kind of particular.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They just said we're having a hold up on
Hmm.
getting it released or getting signed off on. So hopefully they'll get that done, and maybe we can get that record out because it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And maybe that'll be on the new album.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Get it cleared up in time.
I hope so.
So the go back to 1989. I Should Be With You, old Steve Wariner
Yeah.
song.
Man,
You
one
did-
of my
you did-
favorite.
You did a great job on that.
Thank you, man. I mean, that's one of my all-time favorite Steve Wariner songs, and Steve wrote that all by himself.
A lot of people don't realize Steve's one of those guys like Joe Diffie and some of the others that they don't realize how many songs that they had
Yeah.
out in their career before until you go see them live, and you
Yeah.
think, "Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot
Yeah,
about
it's
that."
hit after hit
It's
after
hit
hit.
after, yeah, and you
Yeah.
can't get them all in.
Yeah, exactly.
And Steve's one of my favorite people in this business.
Oh,
He is.
man,
He's
what
one
a-
of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was fixing to say.
You never hear one person in this industry say one bad thing
That's
about
right.
Steve Wariner.
And man, what a talent. Not only a songwriter, guitar player,
Guitar player,
producer.
yeah,
I mean, man, he can do
painter,
and a
he's
painter.
He's an artist,
He is, man.
literally.
I mean,
Yeah,
some of the stuff that, I mean, man, it'd blow your mind.
Yeah.
It'd blow your mind.
Yeah.
But
I can't-
like you said, man, he's one of the nicest, sweetest guys, and has always been gracious to us. And he sang on another album that I had out a long time ago on Koch Records. Him and Bill Anderson wrote a song called "I'll Always Have Denver." And
I
Steve,
remember that.
You remember that?
I remember that.
And
song,
Steve
yeah.
came in and sang with us on it, man, and just what a thrill, because I grew up. He's a big influence on my music and my singing, man. And so to have him and come in and sing with us, and then we become friends, and it's just an honor, man, to have these guys to come in and sing with us.
Yeah. Before we play that, is there anybody that you haven't worked with or recorded with?
Oh, man,
that is a bucket list for you?
Man, I mean, there's so many greats in this business. I mean, I'd probably like to do something with Vince Gill or Exile or, some of those guys. Just, man, we grew up with them, man.
Yeah.
And now, we're in the business, and, I'd love to. There's probably a lot of them if I sat here and thought about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vince Gill, Exile, there's a bunch, man.
There's a lot of people that's on my list for this
Yeah.
show, and
Yeah.
it'll come over time, I hope.
Sure.
But, I mean, you can't get the A-listers until you get the
Yeah.
viewership and the listeners and that
Yeah.
type of thing up. So,
Well, man, I want to thank you for having me on, and I want to wish you all the success
I appreciate
and
it.
everything that you're doing, man.
I appreciate it.
You bet.
Let's go ahead and play I Should Be With You. Steve
Yeah.
Wariner, Country Then and Now, or Sammy Sadler, Country Then and Now. Yeah.
I met a lady on the plane to California. She reminded me so much of you. When she asked what I was doing here, well then it hit me. The crazy things a dollar makes us do. I should be with you right now. The state that you're in, I should be holding you instead of losing my mind. Just when you need me the most, so does the coast. But I swear I'll make it up to you this time. I pass a family as they hug before departure. It just reminds me you're alone. I hold the quarter that will take my voice back to you. And hear you say, I need you here at home. I should be with you right now. The state that you're in, I should be holding you instead of losing my mind. Just when you need me the most, so does the coast. But I swear I'll make it up to you this time. I should be with you right now. The state that you're in, I should be holding you instead of losing my mind. Just when you need me the most, so does the coast. But I swear I'll make it up to you this time.
I Should Be With You, Sammy Sadler, off of the 1989 album on Country Then and Now. We were just sitting here talking about some of the artists that
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
That couple of them that's not with us anymore. You were mentioning Mickey Gilley. Did you ever get to work with him or see him or
I
be
never
around
got
him?
to work with him, but I met him.
Okay.
I never got to do any shows with him, but I got a chance to meet him and talk to him for a while.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
He was, man.
I worked with him on a couple of shows here in the Dallas-Fort Worth
Oh,
area.
did you?
Yeah.
Man, he's an entertainer.
He was.
He was something
And
else.
he was one of the nicest people to be around.
Yeah.
Everybody in his organization were first class.
That's what I heard.
So,
That's what I heard.
yeah.
Never got to do any shows or travel with him, but I got a chance to meet him and talk to him a little bit.
Did you ever get to see him in Branson?
I didn't.
Really?
No, I didn't get a chance. You know, I was the only time I went up to Branson was, gosh, when was that? That was in the early days, man. And it's kind of funny. Me and Dickie Lee, you know, Dickie,
Mhm. Yep.
me and Dickie rode with me to Branson. We did a show up there. I think it's at the, if I remember correctly, is a Starlight Theater. They had a
Yep.
Starlight Theater.
Yep.
And me and,
She's a child.
is that who it was?
Yep.
Me and Dickie did a show there together, and then we went back to Nashville together.
Hmm.
But Dickie, man, he had a lot of records and wrote a ton of hit songs.
Tear Time and
Yeah. I think he had
9,999,999 tears. Yeah.
That's a tongue twister,
That's
man.
a tongue twister. I was going to let you say that when I knew it, but I thought I ain't done it even trying.
Yeah.
So.
I hear you.
Because I get the anyway, so
Yeah.
I don't need no help trying to.
I hear you. We don't need no help tongue twisters.
No, we don't. I do good a job when I need to. So.
But man, just Mickey, and there's so many, man. I mean, you just asked me a while ago if there's anybody I'd like to record with or somebody, man, I'd love to do something with Vince Gill or Exile or, I think Ronnie had a stroke, didn't he? Ronnie Millsap, man, that's another guy.
Yeah.
Man, just,
Yeah, I don't know if he did. I mean, I assume that because I've seen the show.
I think he did. But man, there's another guy that I'd love to do something with.
Yeah, Millsap's my all-time favorite.
Yeah, I know Melody. She said that's one of the first records she ever bought. Is a Ronnie Millsap cassette tape. Man, but
that was the first album I bought.
Was it
2020 Vision?
There you go.
Yeah,
man, what a great singer and performer.
Yeah.
What is he had over 40 number ones?
40 number ones.
Something else. Man.
4 Grammys.
Yeah.
Entertainer of the Year, male vocalist. Yeah.
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 Legends, man.
Legends. There's not many left.
Not many left. Not many.
I was thinking about that the other day. I mean, you got Willie, Millsap, Dolly, Barbara Mandrell, Reba, George Strait. Those are modern, but I'm talking about the 60s, 70s, 80s.
I mean, what
Bill
do you
Anderson.
think? You think there's a dozen of them left.
Probably a dozen.
Maybe.
Connie Smith,
Yeah.
Jeannie Seeley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to think. Those are the ones that come to mind right off.
There's, TG still alive.
TG.
Yeah.
TG Shepherd.
There you go with him. It's hard to sit and think of all of them, but there's not many left.
Yeah.
There's not many left.
No, there's not.
But they're still out on the road.
Yeah. And they're still drawing crowds.
Yeah, they're still bigger crowds now than maybe back when they had hits.
Mm-hmm.
There's a resurge in that music.
Yeah.
And there's an audience out there for it.
There absolutely is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why country radio and TV can't acknowledge that. But
I don't know either, man. I mean, here's the guys that are pioneers that laid the groundwork for a lot of people. And, just because you get older doesn't mean that you don't get better.
Right.
Or you're not just as good. I mean, some of these guys are like fine wines,
Mm-hmm.
man. I mean, they're
Gene Watson's singing better than he did 30 years ago.
And there's another one. I mean, man, he's out working tons of days.
He's doing probably 150 shows a year.
Yeah.
At 80 years old.
Mm-hmm.
76, 77.
T. Graham Brown.
T. Graham.
I mean, he sounds better today than he did. I mean, he's like a fine wine, man.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And to still be out doing it. I mean, like you said, man, I mean, there's an audience and a place for it. And there's people that still want to hear it and come see it.
And that's what your show is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 80s, 90s country.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
That was the era that I was. And I mean, I can't change my music just to fit a format. I am
Right.
who I am.
Right.
And that's the kind of music you're going to get whenever you come see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back to, I can't get close enough. You mentioned at Sal a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
That you would like to do something with them. I'm surprised you didn't get JP or Les in the studio to do something on this.
Well, the label, was involved with it. So they got 3 out of whatever, how many albums. I think we got 8 or 9 cuts on her. I can't remember, but man, I saw the other day whenever we'd done something and we sang I Can't Get Close Enough. And I saw Sonny's wife. She loved it and hit it on my Facebook, but anyway, Sonny wrote that along with JP. And I mean, that song, I Can't Get Close Enough, is a song that I open my show with that everywhere I go. And I have been for many years. It's just one of my favorite songs. And who knows? I mean, I might get an opportunity to do something here down the road, and I may give those guys a call and see if we might get them in to do something with, because they got some great records and some great songs.
They do. Yep. That's another one you go see them live and you forget about all the songs they had till you see them.
Yeah. And I mean,
and how many they wrote for other artists.
Yeah. I mean, a bunch, and here they are 50 years,
mm-hmm.
And it's all the same guys.
And it's all the same guys.
50-year anniversary. And man, they're still out knocking it out, man.
Yeah.
Knocking it out.
Here it is. I Can't Get Close Enough. Sammy Sadler.
I would give anything if I could only show you how strong my passion is for you. But every time I try to tell you, I can't find the right words to say. No matter how hard I keep trying, I just haven't found a way. I can't get close enough. I can't get close enough to you. Just holding you tight all night doesn't seem to do. I can't get near enough. I can't get near enough of you. But you know that it's a good kind of thing I'm going through. my love for you. Wherever you lead, I will follow. It makes no difference, you see. I'd go anywhere to make you understand how much it means to me. I can't get close enough. I can't get close enough to you. Just holding you tight all night doesn't seem to do. I can't get near enough. I can't get near enough of you. But you know that it's a good kind of thing I'm going through. I can't get close enough. I can't get close enough to you. Just holding you tight all night doesn't seem to do. I can't get near enough. I can't get near enough of you. But you know that it's a good kind of thing I'm going through. But you know that it's a good kind of thing I'm going through. Got to get closer, near enough of you, close enough. Got to get closer, near enough of you, close enough. Got to get closer, near enough of you.
I can't get close enough. Exile cut from Sammy Sadler off the 1989 album on Country Then and Now. We were just talking. You just did another interview with a buddy of mine, Scott England, for
Yes.
a new newspaper that's out called True Country Music News.
We did. Scott came and interviewed me and Leon, as a matter of fact, at the fair this past week. Yeah,
good.
So yeah, we did that, and I'd forgotten that Scott had gotten in the ring into boxing.
Yep.
and he was in and out pretty quick.
Yeah,
but
he
he's
was
in
out-
the
he was out-
world record. He's a world record holder.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him for doing that. I don't know if I'd have done that.
I know I wouldn't have. I may be, well, I ain't going to say that. 'Cause Scott's a friend of mine. So, and I do want to continue writing for the papers. So I'm not going to say that.
But man, what a lot of guts to step in that ring to do that, man.
It
So
did.
Kudos
To him.
Yeah.
He's a bigger man than I am.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yes, sir. For sure.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, there is a new newspaper that's out that started publication first of the year called True Country Music News, and focuses on a lot of the country music legends of yesteryear, the Opry members. $36 a year, 12 issues. You can go to truecountrymusicnews.com. That's a mouthful to say. truecountrymusicnews.com and subscribe online. I am a contributing writer for the paper, and I've had probably half a dozen stories published so far and more to come. Scott beat me to this, guys, so I didn't get to do the interview for the paper, but I'm doing it with him today.
There you
so,
go. Well, man, it's good to be here. Thank you
good.
and Scott both, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you
it.
bet.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. One more song off of the album, I Know a Place. Talk about that real quick.
Well, we put that out on the 1989 album as a bonus track, and that song was a top 15 record for me out in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I just love the song, and just wanted to let everybody hear it and have another chance to be able to get it and pick it up.
Sounds good.
Appreciate you.
I Know a Place, Sammy Sadler.
I know you've been down that lonesome road. You been kicked around and your heart's been broke. So if you're feeling hurt, I'll ease your pain. If you're feeling lost, I'll show you the way. 'Cause I know a place where dreams come true, where my love waits for you. By my side, in my arms. Darling, that's the place where you belong. It's just around the bend. It's not far till your journey's in and a brand new start. It's where you're gonna find someone who cares. If you close your eyes, I'll take you there. 'Cause I know a place where dreams come true, where my love waits for you. By my side, in my arms. Darling, that's the place where you belong. Right by my side, in my arms. Darling, that's the place where you belong. Don't you know, my little darling, that's the place where you belong.
I know a place. Sammy Sadler on Country Then and Now. Buddy, I appreciate you doing this.
Man, Casey, I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you for always being kind to us. And if there's anything we never do for you, man, just let us know.
You got it. Same here.
Appreciate you.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
Go to SammySadler.com. Don't go on my Facebook, the blue check one. That is not me anymore. Go to Sammy Sadler Official. That is my new Facebook. And you can catch us on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media stuff.
Sounds good.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care. Everybody take care. Love one another. We'll see you next week. God bless.